This video is dedicated to my dear friends and family and anyone who would be interested in listening to what I have to say. It's really important that I let you know that I have been searching all over the place looking at the world news, and I'm following what's going on globally, and there is a tendency. There is a global tendency, and something very serious is going on concerning mass manipulation, using Israel as a scapegoat, really, for every single thing that's going on wrong in the world, while at the same time there's other things going on. Oh la la, there's such a noise. Stop it! You know, some of you might be wondering, why is this clown just going on and on, showing all of this stuff about Israel and Jewish people and so on? You know why? Because if we don't wake up right now and see what's really going on, there will be no future for clowns. Okay? And I'm really serious. There is a really malicious, evil attempt by global media to demonize the Jewish state and evoke hate against Jews, and so that people will rise up together in one cause, thinking that they are united and that they're going to win something out of this. This is not the case at all. I have to be very careful about what I say, because what's going on is so deep. People are having a hard time saying what they think. And we're in a period of time where we can't say what we think without feeling like we're going to jump into a big, fat, deep hole and fall into it, and then be accused and beaten and morally and so on. So we just try not to get into arguments and talk about what's nice, and going on and be on the superficial level. But we don't have time for that anymore. Right now, the same thing that went on concerning the COVID situation, and some of you haven't understood that yet, or you don't want to agree with me on that, or agree with anybody on that. You want to believe that it was all true, that it was all right to inject this horrible substance into the arm. Some people came out okay, but know that millions are dying every day, and more than that are sick and very, very seriously ill. The same kind of unquestioned major media, no debates, no context, no other side. We are just telling one side of the story, and what we're telling about that side is not even true. What's going on in Gaza is much more complex than what the news will show you, okay? I have many, many sources of information showing that what they're not showing you. So when I say to myself, this is what we see if we look for it, and I go back and I ask people, did you see this and did you see that? When normally that would have been major news when I was a kid. This would have been shocking news. It would have been the most important thing going on in the world. It's not being shown. And what's not being shown are all the October 7s that are happening around the world right now while millions of people are dying. In the last 2 months, there's been at least 100,000 people slaughtered, brutally slaughtered in Syria. There have been millions of people killed in Congo and Nigeria. Before the war started in Israel, there was a real genocide in Yemen, and that left us with these Houthis, who are terrorists. Everything that is happening right now to Israel is intended to happen to the rest of the world. You can go on and say you're a conspiracy theorist, you're a complotist, but know that those terms only came up during the times since 1920, when COVID actually happened. Suddenly, if you just look back in time, who were the people that were the second voice? What were the alternatives that were proposed? Was there anybody that was particularly hated that maybe shouldn't have been? Is there anything that you saw that you thought, that's not really normal, but it's okay because we were in an emergency? Think about what you've been told and ask yourself, is it possible that it's true? Do you really think that 1/3 of 1% of the population in the world, in a country that makes up 3% of the size of all of its enemy neighbors surrounding it, have any real power in the world to do as many horrible things as they are accused of? A people that cherish life, that their sense central of the philosophy, the thought, the book is to make joy as an act of goodness and considered a mitzvah, a good act, an act, a command. There's, I think, 616 commands to be accomplished every day in the Torah. And one of those is to live the simcha, the joy. And we wake up in the morning thanking God that we opened our eyes. Everything we do, we thank God. There is absolutely nothing that would drive most people into some kind of genocidal rage, and there is no documents speaking of it. And if there are, then it must be very, very rare. And what society doesn't have a bunch of crazy people in it anyway? But this is not representative of the most people in Israel. Know that they did not start the war. They were in the middle of a ceasefire, which was turning into a peacetime period. These were people that were dancing at a peace party for peace in the world, while the others were sleeping in their beds in farms and small towns, who were attacked brutally by those who had planned it for years ahead. Do you think that stopping and the war right now before it's finished is really going to bring back the hostages? Don't you think they would have brought back the hostages already if they really wanted this war to end? The first condition was, just please bring us back the hostages. Release the hostages and pose your arms. That's the first thing. Nobody is trying to prolongate this war except the people that don't want them to prolong the war, who are stopping that to happen. It should have been over with like any normal war would have been, if not the entire world intervened with everybody having their own point of view. The disinformation is so bad that it is even infiltrated inside the Israeli society, it seems. And they seem to not know about the connection between all of these different actors who are actually standing around the mountains and all over around Israel and by the sea, ready to attack all at the same time. And if they could have, they would have wiped Israel off the earth. The last time there was a ceasefire, I don't know if anybody knows this, but apparently very quickly, Hamas was very readily rearmed with a new group of terrorists behind them. So they didn't give back the hostages. They released the hostages with the most extreme humiliation possible and with the greatest pleasure of seeing the two Bibas children being promenaded around while they were selling candies, and the fake and the body of the mother that wasn't the body, just to be, how horrible. And they are using the hostage and the emotional thing. I can't speak for people in that place. I can't imagine it. But all I can see is that's being used to bring down the strength, Israel's original strength as being a great army which is able to handle the most incredible endeavors. I am really upset about this, and I'm very concerned when I see my Israeli friends and family posting things on social media following the narrative of these malicious, horrible, anti-Semitic sources like Al Jazeera, who owns CNN, and know that Qatar has put a lot of money into most of the media, Iran, USA. You can call me crazy. I don't care. Right now, it's a question of life and death. And it's not just about Israel. It's about the entire world, because this is just the beginning. And if you look around you, all of these people are players of the same game, and they have been allowed to invade our countries all over the Western world. What do they do, these people? They wake up in the morning, they're told to stand in line, and the first thing they say is death to the Jews, death to Israel, death to America. This is what they say in the first grade, already back in 1979 when the Ayatollah took place. And I met people from Iran who are running away from that, who told me about it. And I didn't understand that this was all connected. There is no real story about Palestinian liberation. The Palestinian Liberation Organization, their intentions, the PLO, was to get rid of Israel from the river to the sea, meaning all of it, not just land. And that's why they refused every single peace plan that was proposed from Carter. I think it was only Egypt that really accepted. And then with that, they gave back the entire Sinai, for which nobody was really living. Anyway, I have to go. If you have anything nasty to say, don't say it at all. I'm not interested. I know the arguments. If you are interested in knowing more, please let me know, and I will do what I can, because I have been trying to knock at the doors of people and saying, wake up, please. There's something wrong. There's a really big, strong evil force with a lot of money going through and trying to influence people. And that makes me think of 1938. We are in the exact same thing right now, and it's getting big, and it has to stop. Otherwise, it's life or death. It's the end of the civilization. We are surrounded by the same entities of those who attacked Israel the 7th of October. Thank you. I'm smiling because if I don't smile, smiling is good. With lots of love, clown heart, sincerity, and knowledge.